Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.
Alright you guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. We're going to get right into it. This is a question and answer video. I've got one question and one question only. It is a very, very good question. And to be honest, I haven't even thought about it before now because I don't want to even try and script an answer to this. It's going to be completely off the cuff. And the question is, by my man, Audio Sound Effect. If you have to sacrifice, or if you had to sacrifice either bodybuilding or rugby, which one would you pick? And I'm going to answer this question now because I've just played my first game of rugby in 4 years. You guys might have seen that. You may have seen the try that I scored, that 90-metre effort. And it's really sparked my passion for the game again. I mean, all you need to do is get the ball in your hand once, break one tackle, and you get that passion back. You get that fire back, man. You start, like I'm feeling it now, I'm feeling goosebumps. You know how I felt when I scored that try? I felt fucking awesome. I felt on top of the world. I was like, yes, I'm back. Anyways, the question is, if I had to sacrifice one, either bodybuilding or rugby, for the rest of my life, what would the answer be? I'm going to tell you right now, the answer would be bodybuilding. I would sacrifice building my body, building my physique, getting bigger for the ability to play sport. Now I'm not going to talk about rugby, I'm going to talk about all sports. You know, I am a sport fanatic. I love sport, I've loved it my entire life. I think playing sport competitively gave me that foundation and that attitude that got me into the gym in the first place. So, you know, without sport, without rugby, early on in my life, I would never have entered the gym. I really don't think so. I think that if I didn't play sport, you know, might have liked music or art more so, which I did. I love music, I love art, but I love sport most. If I didn't play sport, I would have got to 17, 18 years old, no muscle maturity, no muscle development, probably wouldn't have run so much in my life. So at that point, I probably would never have entered the gym. So, you know, I've got to go back to my roots. I have to go back to my childhood for this question. And the reality is that I would never, ever, ever give up sport over bodybuilding. Never. I think sport is fantastic. I'm from New Zealand. You know, I live in Australia now. Whether you're from New Zealand or Australia, we're absolutely mad about sport. Bodybuilding, I went through my most, you know, addictive sort of stage to bodybuilding probably about 2 or 3 years ago. When I jumped on stage, for those of you who were around the channel 2.5 years ago when I jumped on stage, that was the time when, you know, bodybuilding was everything. I wanted to jump on stage, I wanted to be successful, and you know, the fruits of my labor would come after that. But the reality is that I never got lean enough. The 2 shows that I didn't do very well, and so my dreams of being a competitive bodybuilder, you know, being picked up by a magazine, being on the front of a magazine cover, having a very, very successful YouTube channel because I was so shredded, none of that happened, okay? The dream died, but I continued hustling on YouTube. I continued training, I continued dieting, I continued bodybuilding, even though I knew deep down I was never really going to be a competitive bodybuilder. So without me going on too much, guys, I need to give you an answer. For me to give up training in the gym, you know, for me to say, right, from this moment on, I'm never ever going to pick up a weight again, I'm never ever going to be able to build 1 more ounce of muscle mass for the rest of my life. Fuck, I don't know if I could. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my answer, guys. I'm going to change it because of the fact that I'm 27 now, alright? If you ask me from this day forward to give up training in the gym, I couldn't train, I would not put on 1 more ounce of muscle mass from this day forward at age 27. I would say, nah, fuck that. If you gave me an ultimatum to continue training for the rest of my life in the gym, you know, not so much hard, just have longevity about myself, train until I'm 50 or 60, enjoy it, still improve my body, or play, what, 3, 5, 6, 7 more seasons of rugby, and then my body be, you know, pretty fucked up through injury and things like that? Well, at this age, at 27, I would take the bodybuilding. I would give up the rugby for the bodybuilding. You ask me at age 18 which one I'd do, I'd clearly say, nah, fuck the bodybuilding, I love rugby. If you asked me probably 3 years ago, at the peak of my interest in bodybuilding when I was competing, at that point I was still making rugby videos, I still had the passion for it, but I was not going to play because my interests lay with bodybuilding. I didn't want to get injured. I was working in my job, I was doing 12-hour shifts, I didn't have time to train, I didn't have time to go to the games, I didn't have time to train for rugby, and so my priorities were with bodybuilding and my normal, you know, full-time job. So I've definitely gone through different stages. I feel like if you're 18, you can do both. 30, I think, you know, playing rugby is probably going to be pretty silly, you may injure yourself, but that's just my opinions, guys. You're only going to play rugby if you're confident in your ability. If you're getting out there on the field at age 27, 30 and above, and you're not confident in your ability, you haven't played years and years beforehand, you don't have your technique down, you can really injure yourself, you can really fuck yourself up, and it's probably not going to be worth it. So, what was the original question? Fucking hell, guys, I go on, I really do. If you have to sacrifice either bodybuilding or rugby, which would you pick? Right now, I would sacrifice, even though I just made my comeback, even though I love it so much, thinking for longevity, thinking I want to be in the gym for the next 25 years, I would take bodybuilding over rugby. And that was the answer to my question, guys. If you liked the video, please press like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. There's going to be so much more content coming, rugby, bodybuilding, and the rest. I'll see you guys in the next one.